Hi, I'm Dr. Lydia Gray. I'm the staff veterinarian and medical director here at SmartPak. Today I want to share some tips for wrapping your horse's legs, something that every horse owner will need to do eventually, whether it's for exercise, for shipping in a trailer, for adding support in a stall, maybe even covering a wound. We'll cover choosing the right materials, preparing the materials and your horse, and then some basic do's and don'ts. The choice of which materials to use for wrapping is somewhat personal preference. There are some next generation bandage materials that are becoming quite popular. I still use the traditional polo wraps and standing bandages and quilts, so we'll talk about those. Polo wraps are a soft, stretchy, fleece-like material with Velcro on the end. They're about 4 to 5 inches wide and maybe 9 feet long. Those are used for exercise. The standing bandage, also called a shipping bandage or a stable bandage, is a little bit wider, maybe 6 inches, a little bit longer, 10, 11, 12 feet. And they're more of a knit polyester material that's less stretchy. And you put those over a quilt or pillow wrap. This is made of cotton. Different heights to support the length of your horse's canine bone because the front is different height than the back. There is nothing more frustrating than finishing the perfect wrap only to find in that last turn that you didn't roll the bandage right and the Velcro is on the inside. So, in preparing your materials, whether it's the polo wrap or the standing bandage, when you first get it out of the package, unroll it and re-roll it inside out, Velcro first, so that when you're applying the wrap on your horse's leg, you end with the Velcro on the outside. Now for preparing the horse, just make sure that his legs are clean and dry, that he's standing on a clean and level surface, and that he is safely restrained, which can either be tied, cross-tied, or having a helper hold. Wrapping seems complicated, but it doesn't have to be. There's really just 2 things to remember. The first is don't wrap too loosely, because the wrap could slide or fall down and trip your horse. The second is don't wrap too tightly or unevenly, because this could compromise your horse's circulation, and cutting off that circulation could cause cording the tendon or a bandage bow, which is damage to the tendons on the back of the leg. It's really just as simple as those 2 things, but if you're looking for some additional help in wrapping, here's a few tips. If you have to wrap a leg for a wound, let's say, wrap the pair. So if there's a wound on the left front leg, wrap the right front leg also. It provides extra support to the leg that's not injured. And then if a horse has 2 wraps, he maybe isn't distracted enough to chew or to try to kick one off. Another tip, start with the roll to the back. This is my horse leg, and he's looking that way. I put the front end of the bandage in front of the leg and the roll to the back, and then I start. If you always start the same way, you will always end correctly. Another tip is to wrap smoothly and evenly. Try to avoid tugging or pulling at certain parts of the wrapping to avoid creating unnecessary tension against the soft tissues of the leg. Next, when you're using a standing bandage and a quilt, always wrap the 2 the same direction, clockwise or counterclockwise, and try to leave a little padding at the top and the bottom of the pressure wrap. With practice, you will learn exactly where to start, the correct tension to use, and how much to overlap so that you end halfway down the outside of the leg. Try to do it the same way every time so that you develop a consistent system or method that works for you. Happy wrapping!